the night, beyond to the marrow, keeping out of sight, where we all glow, it's a new flow. Sunset spilling out, light leaks on the pavement, shadows blacking out, punk rock and pagan, dancing like a kid, stepping on the stage, heart like gasoline. Black holes in your eyes, hiding for nothing. Symbols in the skies, something is coming. Can't jump rock you up, dead man on the dance floor. Pulsing through your blood, get ready for the new girl.
Yo, what's going on, guys? We've got the Sandbox artifact drop today, which was delayed almost 2 weeks. I actually really want one of these, like, personally. I don't know. I think it's going to be, like, impossible to hit, but I think they're cool, so we'll go over that, and then as always, go over some daily news, reviews, mints, etc. Let me get the other guys.
Man, bro.
Oh, what's up? You're really loud. We're live.
All right. What's up, man?
I mean, sup, man. Sup, fam. Yeah, so the Sandbox thing is today. I really want one of these. I think they're really cool. Like, I like the way they look. I don't know.
I can't wait. Yeah, so Artifact Sandbox. We're going to have round 2 at this. Last time the site was totally schlacked. The checkout flow on the Sandbox is pretty simple. Just make sure you're signed in, and I think that everyone should be going for these. They're really, really cheap, and I'm hoping that the website stays alive. Just like you, Vince, I really want one of these. I really like the, let me see. It was like the Lava King, I think is what it was.
The lava guy's really cool, and so is the robot, the lab mecha.
Yeah, I like the Artifact Blade a lot. I think that's badass. I think the Cyber Sneakers are probably one of the smarter pieces to go for because the quantity is higher than a lot of the rares, and they'll probably do really well. There's 190 quantity. And the Clone X poster.
I mean, they're gonna sell out like instantly, right?
I think so. I mean, if
like
the
how
site's,
are they not?
Yeah, if the site's alive and is actually processing the transactions, then yeah, they're gonna sell out instantly, 100%.
Yeah, they're cool. They're really cool.
Yeah.
What do they call these voxels, right, or something? Like the type of characters or something? Voxels?
Yeah, voxels, because like of the way that they are used to walk around Sandbox and whatnot. But there's also, these are not the same as like the actual Clone X.
Right,
Voxel,
of course.
Clone voxels. Yeah, it's cool. They're doing a lot, man. They're really doing a lot. It's impressive. And yeah, like I said, really, really cheap. Drop, it's gonna be between like $3 and a couple $100 depending on which pieces you're going for. So
cool. Yeah, and the guide's in our Discord for this whole thing. So the OpenSea volume yesterday was awful. One of the lowest days in 3 months. Not very good today. But surprisingly, some of like the newer projects have done well the past week or so. With Loser Club is at 0.6 right now. I Like You, You're Weird, 0.3. And yeah, some of these projects have done pretty well the past few days.
Yeah, those are both basically at a 2x from when we were talking about them last week.
Yeah,
which is pretty impressive. And Dour Darcels too are around like 1.2 after they announced their collaboration with Colette, which is a French streetwear store that closed down, I believe, in like 2018. But they're still a little bit active. So just interesting to see. We called the Loser Club on the podcast as not a bad buy last week. I don't think any of us ended up buying, but the art's pretty unique and the artist is pretty cool. I can totally see these running for like a 1 ETH or 1.5. But but we'll see. I'm not exactly sure what caused the pump on any of this stuff. I think maybe it could just be ETH moving sideways. But yeah, I mean, interesting to see for sure. Kind of took me by surprise. I feel like there are other projects that should have pumped too that really haven't. But I guess we'll just have to see where the market kind of takes us.
I did want to touch on Loser Club. As like, are you guys familiar with the background of Loser Club, like the artists and stuff?
Not too familiar.
personally.
No, not
So
Javon.
yeah, so we had talked about it on the podcast like back in February, and the artist of Loser Club is the Fishy Fam artist. His name is Javon. And we had talked back in late February about Fishy Fam and this whole dilemma they had on Twitter where they paid their artist Javon to create the Fishy Fam art. They gave him $5,000 and then they launched a successful project. So then at that same time, we had talked about how Javon went on a Twitter space, started promoting his own project. And now look, a month later, this is that project. So it's the same
It's
artist.
that same guy.
It's Javon.
I remember
Yeah.
that dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
so
in
this
those
is his
spaces
project.
as well. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so this is so Loser Club's his project, and so a lot of the guys from Fishy Fam were a lot of the guys who were doubtful that Javon was going to be able to launch his own project ended up like completely turning their backs on Fishy Fam once Loser Club started pumping. And I know like Z-Soats and some of the other guys we talked to were bullish on these just for that point alone at like 0.15, and then they ended up running. But that's just something I wanted to know.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. These are way better
Yeah.
than Fish. I thought Fishy Fam was trash from the get go. I didn't do shit with that thing. But these are actually cool. Like, I would buy one. Like, it's a project I would actually buy. Not that I am, but it's cool.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. This guy's dominating. I remember in that Twitter space, he wasn't really making any money up until then, and at that time, he was just like sourcing out his work and really just like an artist for hire, doing kind of like Fiverr type style work and contracts for people. So, I mean, there's already been 3.9K ETH traded on this project. I don't know what they minted for, but he's making life-changing money right now. So.
Yeah.
Think there's any money to be made here buying? Could we see a run to 0.9 to 1 maybe?
I don't know. We've watched it 3x. I wish so bad. I bought when it was like 0.2. Saw some guys talking about it, but there is some momentum here, man. Like, and the distribution's solid.
See what I'm trying to think of, like, any projects that would be a decent play. I just don't. I haven't done
Murray
much.
could be a good one.
Murray, yeah, that could be. The reveal's in like 6 days, so obviously flipping rares would be a week out from here. But what time is the mint today? So you'll have only like 400 or 500 more coming in.
Yeah, I think like
So,
750 total left. Probably not even that full.
It
number
is
going to be going to the public. It's at 3 o'clock.
You only have about 5% listed, 6% listed right now, which is
really low. Yeah,
pretty low. Yeah, could be a play here on Murray.
And like we said, those house NFTs should do pretty well too. They were the original mint pass for this, but they're being advertised now as like a mint pass for all of the future endeavors for the project team. So I actually don't hate picking up one of those too. I think they were like 0.6 when we checked them yesterday. They may have even gone down further because people are probably selling now that Murray is over.
Yeah.
But I think that could be an interesting one as well.
Cool.
I want to talk Threelanders a little bit as well.
Okay.
This was
the
cool.
land
So,
stuff, whatever.
Yeah, so Threelanders, they had announced an airdrop the other day. They didn't give much, they didn't even announce that. They actually announced that a snapshot was taken a few days ago on the 12th, and there was really no further details given. And then this morning, just about an hour ago, maybe hour and a half here, we were airdropped, or any Threelander holders were airdropped, something called Threeland Inventory. And then the description here says, everything you need for your adventure in Threeland. So basically, you got a Threeland adventure bag. It says, it appears that the adventure bags have been efficient and precisely packed, carrying the exact amount of supplies needed to complete journeys into Threeland. They also appear to double as an excellent fuel source for starting fires upon arrival in order to stay warm and feel a little more at home after a long journey. So yeah, interesting. Just building their ecosystem. The floor on these actually got up close to 0.25. Right now it's 0.18. So I'm just holding it, and nice little airdrop for anyone holding those. And the floor is still about 1.9. So yeah, that project has been a decent hold, I would say.
Dude, I think it's bullish as hell that they've already done an airdrop. I mean, how recent ago did they drop? Like what, a month? Less than a month?
Yeah, let me see.
I think it was early March, right?
That sounds right. So I bought mine.
About the week
They
before
minted 24 days ago, so about a month
Yeah,
ago.
that's crazy. I
Wow.
mean, that turnaround time is insane. The fact that they've already done something like this. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, we know the team is good. We know they're building, but if they're actually building out an ecosystem, right? Like I think what's this called? Threeland inventory. Like I would assume this is the first of a couple of things.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, it just could just be consistent value for holders, which is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, man. Heck yeah. So
Cool.
yeah, pretty bullish. Definitely still holding mine.
Anybody doing anything with the "I like you, you're weird"?
I don't know if I like the NFT art on those.
Yeah, I
They're
don't
a little
really
too
like 'em.
abstract. I don't see them working as profile pictures. So I think they're a
Right.
little limited.
And they remind me of another project. I don't remember which one, but
Is it the
Crazy Guys or
oh
something.
shoot. No, it was the Peace Guys or something.
Yeah.
Peace something?
Peace.
Groupies?
Groupies. Peaceful groupies.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they look so much like these.
Yeah, they do.
And those ran to like 1.2, and I think they're
Yeah.
like 0.3 or something really low right now.
They're
Groupies are
0.17.
also like, oh, are they really that low?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
What brings a project like that back, dude? That's always my question.
Exactly.
I don't even know.
Thanks, Shill.
Yeah.
That's what pumped it initially.
Yeah, literally.
Okay. Let's get off this stuff. WWE moonsault. Huh.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. No one really knows what this is yet. The WWE, as in the Wrestling Federation, launched this last night, or they announced it via like their PR newswire, basically saying they're building out an NFT marketplace, and an NFT collection of some kind. So no real idea what it is. I would imagine it's probably similar to Top Shot or like NFTU, like we discussed yesterday, maybe like moments of people. And I would normally write this off, but I think people like The Rock and John Cena have such big followings because they've kind of transcended the WWE that like going after some of their stuff in an NFT collection, if that were to happen, would actually be quite profitable. So I shared it in the Discord this morning. I just think it's interesting. Like, who would have thought that like WWE getting into NFTs? But I mean, I think it's undeniable that there's actual money to be made for these companies by doing this. So
Yeah.
just thought it was interesting and thought I'd share.
Dude, I was thinking WWE is going to try to target a younger audience too. Like they're going to be strategic, and we've seen NBA Top Shot. They were trying to target card enthusiasts. Obviously, the collegiate league would be targeting college fans. But I feel like WWE would try to take advantage of a smaller market, which is more like those who are into WWE, which is really kids that are like under 15. I don't hear anyone talking about WWE who, you know, like at least seriously, who is above the age of 16.
Totally. And I mean, that brings up a good point, right? Like, are there any WWE collectibles in existence right now, short of like
So they
merch,
do,
maybe?
yeah, they do
They do
Panini.
cards?
Yeah, they do, exactly. They do Panini cards. But other than that, I mean, it's funny. Like if you walk into a Target and you're looking for good baseball or sports product, the only thing you're gonna see sitting on the shelf is WWE Panini cards, or Topps cards. Nothing like, you know, there's not demand. At least not enough.
Interesting. Cool.
Somebody brought up Stay Cool NFT. Have you guys seen this at all? They said that they are same people that made Invisible Friends is co-signed by Random Collective. Oh, you're talking about the Random Character Collective that do like the rollers, Invisible Friends and stuff. Huh. I haven't seen this one. I mean, it's one of 1,000 that are going to launch, I'm sure, in the next 3 days.
I also haven't heard of this.
Does look like there's a lot of engagement. If it's real or not, I don't know. Huh.
I'm looking in the random character collective server right now, and I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
see
in there
anything for
too.
cool.
Gloomy
Right.
Gaming said, "Hey, I'm new to the Sandbox ecosystem. Do I need extra sand to cover gas fees?" I also have never transacted in sand, but it's built on the ETH network. It's not on like an L2, so I'm thinking the answer is yes. Is that correct, Vince? That there will be like some associated gas fees, maybe small
I think
ones?
so because wasn't there gas fees on the Snoop Dogg sand project?
Yes.
Remember the Snoop Doggies?
Yeah, I
Pretty
do.
sure.
Yep.
So there
yeah.
would be gas. I mean,
It'll be really low though.
it wouldn't
like
be like
couple dollars.
expensive. Yeah, since it's
Exactly.
gonna be in sand.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Stay cool. If it's gonna be any good, we'll post about it. Looks like it's not doing anything for a while. I don't see any stuff about minting and stuff. I don't know. We'll look into this more off stream. Okay, so now I think we're into some Solana stuff, which is this crypto straps just blew up.
Yep.
What was with the Solana guy talking about these?
So, just a little bit of background. We had posted this back when they were minting. They had an absolutely disastrous launch. They had an issue with the whitelist token. I don't even think they fully minted out. They had to cut their supply. I'm pretty sure completely in half, from 6,000 to 3,000. They finally hit Magic Eden a couple days ago. They didn't really go above mint. I was keeping an eye on them because it had caught my interest at first, but I hadn't seen really any notable activity. And then they had their validator go live. And for those who don't know what a validator is, it's essentially a place where you can stake your Solana. And theirs was really cool because it had a 6.6% APY, I believe, and it had 0% commission, which most of these things don't have. That's the same part to it. They immediately shot up in the rankings of all validators to, I think they peaked at rank 19. They're sitting at rank 20 right now. And the co-founder of Solana, let me see what his name is. I seem to have lost his name here, but he quote tweeted one of their tweets about the validator. He said, "This is basically true innovation, and I really love to see it." And then from there, we went from like a four price. I think we maxed out at like 12 or 13, and it just kind of went crazy all of a sudden. So that was cool to see for them. It's kind of like a from the bottom, ground up story. So they got a lot of hype and traction from that. They did dip down a little, which we do see most things do after such like a nuclear rise up. But I see this as maybe a buying opportunity. I do want to do some more research into how people are really feeling about it now that the dump has kind of came in. But I think there could be real potential if they can maintain that validator and people see good returns from it. So that was cool to see.
Cool. I just looked at Yaku Labs too to see what those are doing since we had mentioned these about a week ago or so as like a buying opportunity. They're
Nothing
up,
crazy yet.
yeah,
a little bit,
just 0.5.
little bit of action.
So,
but again, that was a 3 weeks in advance, 4 weeks in advance play. I still think we have room to go on there for sure.
cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the guy talking about Solana, Raj or whatever.
Yep.
Astrals again on our radar here. Okay.
Yep. So they finally broke the wall of 4 Sol last night. And when I woke up this morning, they had basically hit 6. I'm looking at this program called Soul Sniper, which I think I even talked about yesterday. They're number 1 on the trending collections. They're getting a lot of buzz, and I think there might still be room to make some money on these as a quick buying opportunity. They are still in their ICO for their token. They have a private round of investors still buying it. They haven't disclosed the amount yet. So it could really go one of two ways. If they come out and say, hey, these guys were putting this much into it on top of the 1.5 million they've already promised, If that coin comes out at a pretty good price, I think these are going to go up pretty quickly. I've been watching the not only floor price but the amount listed over the past few days, and they've consistently gone down about 100 a day, which for such a big collection on Solana is pretty amazing. And I think while the artwork is high quality, I mean these things look ridiculous, right? Some of them. So when I just think all things put together to see these things that I'm seeing is a really good sign. And I really like holding one of these for a couple days to see what happens. Risky for sure, but I think more likely than not with such a big team and big names on the team like Shaq and Snoop Dogg, you have a better chance of success here than failure. And that's one of two I'm looking at. The other one is Tadians, which we talked about the other day. Those are going a bit crazy right now. Those just bumped up to the third most trending collection on Solana. Those have been a bit more slow compared to Astrals. One being it's just a different type of project. There's not a big name like Shaq involved. The utility's a little bit different. But I really liked this one from the start because it was so unique. The artwork was great. And again, I've just slowly but surely seen the floor price go up, the listings go down. A lot of these big influencers on Twitter really like this project. They have a lot coming in the very near future. So, and same deal with Astrals. I think you have a much higher potential of winning here. If you even at an all-time high, I'd like to see it maybe retrace a little bit before buying, but I still think it has plenty of room to grow. Just its ideology of being the first almost credit score outside of an official docs is super interesting, and I think in a space is, I don't want to say distrusting, but I think that's the best way to put it, as Solana can be sometimes. I think that's going to have some real validity, especially with all these big influencers in the space really starting to take note of it and buy these up. So those are the two I'm really most excited for right now that have kind of a lower entry point for people to get in.
Sweet. So again, Gloomy, it'll be covered in Ethereum gas. The way you can check that is literally go on the market, go to try to buy something. You'll notice it pops up your MetaMask. You have to pay for gas in Ethereum. So you need to have Ethereum in your wallet too. It's not paid in sand. So what are you guys' thoughts on Raid Party and Look Labs? Both projects have been popping off recently. I saw Raid Party was going up like a week or two ago.
We had seen with Raid Party, and I think Aiden might know more about this, but we had seen a lot of the guys who were making really big plays on Raid Party pre-reveal. Those same wallets were going back and buying a bunch of Raid Party fighters last week for like low, I think like 0.4 or something. And then a lot of them have exited, and it only took a few days to exit. So I don't know if there was some sort of like inside information there or what it was, but a lot of the guys who originally had played Raid Party post-mint pre-reveal took another entry last week for whatever reason. We did see guys talking about it on Twitter, but that's something I picked up on.
Pranksy buying some rare fighters, Raid Party themselves buying some. Kind of interesting. Yeah.
Slabs, kind of interesting too. I don't know. The volume traded seems really low, at least for the game keys I'm looking at now. I didn't really pay much attention to it because I thought like a cannabis themed play to earn didn't really make any sense in my head, but it seems like the market is paying attention to them. But that's pretty much all I know about them. I don't know. They didn't catch my eye at first. These play to earns kind of like, especially Raid Party included, like the tokens, I think like play to earns suffer from the same fate all the time, where when the token that's used in game goes down, the interest kind of wanes, and people kind of just dump on each other. It feels a bit like a Ponzi scheme, and I don't really I've gotten burned on that a bit, so that's just my take. But if you have them, I think they're probably going pretty well. Like the floor seems to be up on all of them.
Yeah, I stay away from games. Honestly, the last one was, I think, Wolf Game, and I have no interest in rejoining something. But, you know, obviously if you bought fighters at 0.4 or 0.5, you're like almost 2x. So
Yeah, and that was the exact play a lot of those guys had made, was entering at
Yeah.
0.4, 0.5 and selling at 1.2, like round 1 somehow.
Yeah. Cool. Is there any other questions that I missed here? Let me go back. No, nothing. Cool. Okay, let's get off of this. We talked to Todians. We talked Stay Cool. We talked. Okay, I think we covered all our NFT stuff. McKay, did you have some retail normal
we could,
reselling stuff to go over with like Target cards this morning and Bowman baseball?
We'll cover Bowman first edition first.
Okay.
No pun intended. That today they dropped for like 582 members. Shout out to any 582 members in the chat. And I mean, I don't want to even spend too much time talking about it. It's really just a Bowman baseball product that I feel like this is the exact product where people who know baseball and know Bowman and are collectors feel very confident buying it. And then there's guys like myself who are totally into flipping retail and high-end cards, but not that mid-range card sets, which is exactly what these are, who aren't going to want to sit on a product like this for a year or 2 years based off baseball prospects to try to make a couple $100. So it's not my thing. So I feel like it's just kind of a niche product where big baseball enthusiasts and prospect guys are into buying it. So yeah, I mean, we expect to see it drop tomorrow, and Jake B put a really thorough post together just about an hour ago in card flips. And then today we saw Target cards, and that really wasn't a bad drop at all. They had loaded right around 7, and it was all Mosaic football. So we saw cellos, we saw hangers, blasters, and megas. And the priority, of course, is mega boxes. I think they're going to end up selling for like right below $100, but it's still really solid profit. And it was something that stands out about this drop, and we had talked about it the last drop as well, is we're seeing Target drops get less spammy, like less overwhelming and more concise and better product. And I think what they're trying to do is like, they're just saying, screw the select, screw the old product. We're going to take this new product. Like last time they released, we only saw a very select list of products, and that was just Mosaic. And now this week we saw the same thing. Like, they're not going to bother with dropping old football product. Their priority is new product, which was Mosaic football today. And yeah, I think they're just kind of re-strategizing their approach rather than just a bunch of junk in small quantities, which frankly is better for us for them to do it like this. They're just releasing a smaller product list that's more accessible for us because stock is higher. So, I mean, a good drop. KSR did well, and a lot of members did really, really well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, McKay. Anything else you guys want to add for the day?
I'm good.
Good luck on Sandbox. Anybody who's going for it.
Yes, sir.
2:00 Eastern.
Yeah. Stay tuned. We might see a Murray buy-in after this public sale. We're still looking at